Welcome to Shomach Shov on the Daf, Shir sponsor for the month of Av by the Einhorn family, Leilu Nishmas of Toli Ber Yecheskel. We're holding in Chulin Daf Tzadik. The Gemara with base tells us that Dibra Torah Loshen Havai, Dibra Nevim Loshen Havai, Dibra Chachami Loshen Havai. Sometimes the Torah, the Nevim, and Rabbanon, they say things which are exaggeration, they're a guzma. It's not exactly, it's just to come and emphasize a point. And the Gemara continues and says that there's a few places that we mentioned the idea of 300. There was 300 Kohanim that had to go and take the parichas to the mikvah or to move the tree made out of gold. It was a guzma, it was an exaggeration. So the Ben Yod over here already mentions that Chazal, and obviously the Torah, never really says something which is not true. And when the Gemara tells us Loshen Havai, it means, al pi pshat, this is an exaggeration. But there is oimek hadover. There is a soid. Kol dover v'dover has a soid to it, and the soid means exactly as it says. Adds Ben Yoyodo that the name of Hashem is Yud Kei Vav Kei. Each one of the letters is connected to one level, one understanding of the Torah, which is pshat remez dras soid, and the Yud al Shem Machshava is connected to soid. This is what it means Loshen Havai. Havai is Haveh Yud. If you want to understand it, bring the Yud, bring the Chilek HaSoid of Torah, and you will understand it. The Ramami Pano, in his Shuvah Sefer, Siman Ein Gimel, goes through the entire Gemara to show that even though the Gemara tells us Loshen Havai, but really there is a pshat that it actually means the words that it says. So he mentions when it says Orin Gedoylos of Itzuris Bashamayim, the Gemara brings as an example for something which is an exaggeration, that the cities reach the Shamayim, says there is a pshat. The pshat is that the Shivim Sorim, the Malachim, cannot go into Eretz Yisrael. So as if there is a border in the Shamayim that doesn't allow the Shivim Sorim to go into Eretz Yisrael. He adds, when the Gemara brings an example of a Tivoka Oretz Lekoilam, that the Oretz moved, shaked, opened up, says that's really true al Gabi Eretz Yisrael. Eretz Yisrael is called Eretz Tzvi. It sometimes shrinks and it sometimes expands. So it really means that Tivaka Eretz Lekoilam. And he goes on to explain the Hemshech HaGemara, when he mentions just the Shlosh Mois Kohani means that there are 300 Kohani that were willing to go and do the Avodah, even though you don't need all of them. He concludes by saying that Havai is Rosh Tevers, Hinei Borchu Es Hashem. To tell me you have to be Yivarach HaKadosh Baruch Hu and know that there's nothing that goes levatalo, everything has a limud. Just add to this that you do in the name of the Vilna Goyen. It's brought down in a few places. One of the places I found is the Sefer Matad Yerushalayim on the Yerushalmi in the Shkolim Perek Ches Halacha Beis, where there the Gemara also mentions the idea of the Guzma. It says the Vilna Goyen does a cheshbon. Why, when it says that the Paroiches was they need 300 Kohanim to put into the mikvah, it's exactly the cheshbon. Why? Because as the Gemara tells us over here, the length of the Paroiches was 40 amo, and the width was 20 amo. So the entire circumference of the Paroiches was 120. And according to Rabbi Yudo, the amo of the Kalim was each one 5 tfachim. So 5 tfachim times 120 is 600 tfachim. Every hand holds 1 tefach. So if you have 300 Kohanim, that's 600 hands, that's exactly 600 tfachim. So the cheshbon of the parichas is there's exactly room for 300 Kohanim to put it into the mikvah. The Gemara tells you didn't need that many Kohanim to hold the parichas. But the number 300 is medukduk. Why is dafka 300 over here? We'll conclude with Divrei Tzadok HaKohen in Sichas Malchei Asharis Per Gimel and a few other places that he says always the exaggeration, the highest number of exaggeration that we use in this world is 300. And he goes on to explain it. The idea, the oimek is, the Chosam Shakash Baruch Hu is emes. Emes is from beginning of the letters to the end of the letters. Aleph to Taf. So Taf refers to the letter Taf, which is Gematria 400. That refers to Lasid Lovely. That refers to the Achris that will be when we get to Olam Haba. In this world, we don't get to Taf. We don't get to the full picture of Emes. That's why the Torah starts with the letter base, not the letter Aleph. So he goes to explain a little differently. But Kayadua, we mentioned him, Yitzchak Isaac Chaver many times, that in the Luchos, the first letter is Aleph. But in the Torah, the first letter is base. Because the Torah is the way it's been gathered down here in the world. And down here in the world, we start from base, and the exaggeration says with Tzadok ends with Shin. We start from Aleph and get to Taf. So that's why that's Emes, starting from Aleph, getting to Taf, which we don't have over here in this world. Anyone who wants to join or sponsor the Shomachshava Shiurim, please email shomachshava@gmail.com.